My name is Jennifer. I'm 47 years old. And I just found out that my husband of 16 years has another wife and 3 children I never knew existed. Not an affair, not a girlfriend, a whole separate family, a mortgage, parent-teacher conferences, a minivan in a driveway due states away. And I found out because of a Facebook post about a school bake sale. Let me back up. My husband's name is David. We met in 2006 at a conference in Chicago. He was in pharmaceutical sales. I was in hospital administration. We got married in 2008. Small wedding, nothing fancy. We bought a house in the suburbs outside Cleveland in 2010. We tried for kids. It didn't happen. We eventually stopped trying. We had a normal life, or at least I thought we did. David traveled a lot for work. Always had. Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, sometimes Indiana. He'd leave Monday morning, come back Thursday night or Friday. Sometimes he'd stay through the weekend if there was a big client meeting. It wasn't ideal, but it was his job. I trusted him. I need you to understand that. I trusted him completely. He called every night. He texted me pictures of hotel rooms, rental cars, bad conference coffee. He complained about flights. He sent me flowers on our anniversary. Even when he was on the road. When he was home, he was present. He cooked dinner. He fixed the leaking faucet in the guest bathroom. We watched Netflix. We were fine, or I thought we were. It was April of last year when I saw the post. I was scrolling Facebook during my lunch break. You know how the algorithm works. It shows you random stuff sometimes. Posts from friends of friends, local groups, sponsored ads. This one popped up in a community group for a town called Greensburg. It's in Pennsylvania, about 2.5 hours from where we live. The post was from a woman named Angela. She was asking for donations for her daughter's school fundraiser. It was one of those candy bar sales, trying to raise money for new playground equipment. She'd posted a picture of her daughter holding a box of chocolate bars. Cute kid, maybe 9 or 10 years old. Dark hair, big smile, and standing behind her, with his hand on her shoulder, was David. I stared at my phone for a full minute. I zoomed in, I looked at the face, same hairline, same glasses, same navy blue jacket he'd bought at Costco 2 years ago, because I told him it looked good on him. The post was public. I clicked on Angela's profile. It wasn't private. I scrolled. There were hundreds of photos. David at a birthday party. David holding a baby. David standing in front of a Christmas tree with 3 kids and Angela. David at a soccer game. David in a kitchen I'd never seen before. The most recent photo was from 2 weeks earlier. It was captioned, 15 years with my best friend. Love you always. 15 years. I met David 17 years ago. I sat in my car in the hospital parking lot, and I went through every single photo on her page. I took screenshots. I looked at the tagged locations. Greensburg, Pittsburgh. A lake house in the Poconos. I looked at the kids' names and the captions. Olivia, Nathan, and Emma. Then I looked at the dates. The oldest kid, Olivia, was 13. I did the math. David and I got married in 2008. Olivia was born in 2011. We were already married. I couldn't breathe. People were walking past my car, going into the hospital, and I was sitting there shaking. Looking at pictures of my husband with children I didn't know existed. I didn't call him. I didn't text him. I didn't do anything that day except go home, pour myself a very large glass of wine, and sit on the couch until midnight. David was in Michigan. Or that's what he told me. He called at 9, like always. I answered. I sounded normal. I asked about his day. He said it was fine. Boring client dinner, he missed me. I said I missed him too. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning I called in sick. Then I called a private investigator. One found her online. Her name was Stephanie. I told her everything. She didn't sound surprised. She said she'd handled cases like this before. She said it would cost $1,200 for a basic workup. Background check, address history, financial records if possible. I said yes. It took her 4 days. She sent me a PDF, 32 pages. David had been married to Angela since 2009, officially married. Marriage license, joint tax returns, the whole thing. They owned a house together in Greensburg. They had 3 kids, Olivia, Nathan, and Emma. He was listed as the father on all 3 birth certificates. He'd never divorced her. Because he'd never divorced me either. We were both married to him. At the same time for 14 years. Stephanie also found bank accounts I didn't know about. A checking account in Pennsylvania with both his and Angela's names. A savings account. Credit cards. A car loan for a Honda Odyssey. He'd been filing taxes separately from me for 8 years. I'd always thought it was some kind of strategy his accountant recommended. He handled all that. I just signed where he told me to sign. Turns out, he was filing as married filing separately in Ohio with me. And married filing jointly in Pennsylvania with her. I don't even know how that's legal. I don't think it is. I sat at my kitchen table with that PDF in front of me, ... And I felt like I was losing my mind. How does someone do this? How do you live 2 separate lives? How do you remember what you told to who? How do you not slip up? But he didn't slip up, not once, not in 14 years. I thought about calling Angela. I thought about driving to Greensburg and knocking on her door. But I didn't because I realized something she didn't know about me either. She thought she was his only wife. She had no idea. We were both victims. And I didn't want to destroy her life before I even understood my own. David came home that Friday. I was in the kitchen when he walked in. He kissed me on the cheek. He asked what was for dinner. I said I hadn't decided yet. He said he was exhausted. It had been a long week. I said I bet. I waited until after dinner. We were sitting on the couch. He was watching some show about Alaska, and I just said it. "Who's Angela?" He didn't move for a second. Then he looked at me. His face didn't change. He said, "What?" I said, "Angela. From Greensburg. Your wife." He turned off the TV. He put his hands on his knees. He took a deep breath. And then he said, ... I can explain. I almost laughed. I DN single quotes T ... but I almost did. He told me he'd met Angela before he met me. He said they'd gotten married young. It was a mistake. They were going to get divorced, but then she got pregnant. He said he didn't know how to tell me. He said it spiraled out of control. He said he loved both of us. He said he never meant to hurt anyone. I asked him how he paid for everything. 2 mortgages, 2 families. He said he made good money. He said he was careful. He said he kept everything separate. I asked him if Angela knew about me. He said no. I asked him what he thought was going to happen. How did he think this was going to end? He didn't have an answer for that. I told him to get out. He tried to argue. He said we could figure it out. He said we could go to counseling. I told him to get out, or I'd call the police. He left. I didn't cry. I think I was too angry to cry. The next day, I called a divorce attorney. Her name was Marisa. I brought her everything. The PI report, the bank statements, the photos, the marriage license. She looked at it all. Then she looked at me and said, ... This is bigamy. This is fraud. You need to report this. I said, to who? She said, everyone. So I did. I filed a police report. I reported him to the IRS for tax fraud. I sent copies of everything to his employer's human resources department. I contacted Angela through Facebook, and I told her everything. I sent her the same PDF I had. I told her I was sorry. I told her I didn't know. She didn't respond for 3 days. Then she sent me a message. She said she'd filed for divorce too. She said she'd contacted a lawyer. She said her kids were asking questions and she didn't know what to tell them. I said I didn't have kids and I couldn't imagine how hard that was. She said thank you. We're not friends. We probably never will be. But we talk sometimes. We compare notes. We help each other with the legal stuff. David tried to fight the divorce. He tried to say it wasn't fair, that I was being vindictive. My lawyer destroyed him. We subpoenaed his financial records. We found out he'd taken out a loan against our house without telling me. We found out he'd opened credit cards in my name. Identity theft. On top of BIGAMY ... on top of fraud. The IRS is investigating him. His company fired him. He's facing criminal charges in 2 states. Angela's divorce went through last month. Mine is almost final. The house is being sold. I'm getting my half ... plus damages. I'll probably never see most of the money he owes me. But I don't care. I don't want his money. I just want him gone. I moved out of the house in July. I'm renting a small apartment closer to the city. I got a dog. Her name is Pepper. She's a rescue. She doesn't trust people either. I've been going to therapy. My therapist says I'm handling this remarkably well. I don't feel like I am. I feel like I'm walking around with a hole in my chest. I feel like I don't know how to trust my own judgment anymore. If I didn't see this, what else am I missing? But I'll tell you what I do know. I know I'm not crazy. I know I didn't imagine it. I know I didn't deserve it. And I know that some people are so good at lying that they can look you in the eye every single day and make you believe you're the center of their world while they're building another world 2 states away. David didn't just cheat. He didn't just lie. He erased my entire reality. He made me think I had a marriage, a partnership, a life, and the whole time, I was just one half of his con. I don't know if he ever loved me. I don't think he's capable of it. I think he loved the control, the thrill of getting away with it, the ego boost of having 2 women who didn't know about each other. But here's the thing he didn't count on. He thought we'd be too embarrassed to talk, too ashamed, too broken. He was wrong. Angela and I both lawyered up. We both pressed charges. We both made sure everyone knew exactly who he was. And now, he's the one who's alone. I didn't get revenge by yelling or confronting or making a scene. I got revenge by documenting everything, following the legal process, and letting the system do exactly what it's supposed to do. Some days I'm fine. Some days I'm not. But every single day, I'm glad I know the truth. Because living a lie, even if you don't know it's a lie, isn't really living at all.